the mic under the shirt.
Is it tumor? You've got a tumor.
It could also.
You could let it just show.
Yeah, I think that's probably better for the
I think that's a little. Yeah.
Folks, write in and let us know.
Yeah, no.
Anyways.
Okay, hold on. Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
My glasses are clean. We can begin.
Excellent.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm much better today. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Peggy.
And you're watching the Junction Fiber Mill
Millcast.
Millcast.
Yeah. So yesterday was your birthday.
Yes.
And sounds like you did a little burning the candle at both ends the night before.
Yes, I had a very chill birthday party, but I still had like 3 more drinks than usual, which is 3 total drinks. And then the kids decided to wake up an hour
Extra early,
which was, I was hurting. So
right. So Amanda comes in, and we're gonna record the Millcast, and her eyes are doing that classic sort of thing going, and
I need to go home and take a nap before my kids come home again.
Yeah. Get that nap in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So good. Here we are.
Yeah, and so you were celebrating your birthday, and I was doing my annual physical.
34, folks.
34. 67. So I see the doctor, and it's in annual, and I got to tell you, the doctor is just fine, but they're part of a big machine, Dartmouth-Hitchcock Medical Center. So a lot of computer time of loading things in, which is,
you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs.
Well, no, she's asking questions, typing things in, and the actual physical is like an afterthought. It's all about data collection.
Yeah.
But one thing that was interesting, she says, you've got to be eating a lot more calcium.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'm doing calcium supplements. She goes, only 50% should come from vitamins. The other 50% needs to come from And I only think of calcium as coming from like cheeses and milks. And she goes, no, there's lots of others. And she goes, Google it. It's like, okay, that's what I'll do. Anyway, but I'm fit as a fiddle.
Excellent.
Yeah.
We love to hear that.
Yeah, all's good.
Yeah.
So who are we?
Who are we? Well, we are a small wool mill in Vermont. We make yarn, and we tell you all about it, and we support our area sheep farmers by making yarn for them, and we have a lot of fun with it.
Absolutely, and we're located at the town is White River Junction, and it is the junction, the intersection of the White River and the Connecticut River. Mm-hmm. Hence the name White River Junction.
And then we love Junction because it's also the intersection of 89 and 91 as far as interstates go. And it feels like there's just a whole lot of connections, including us.
Yeah, Junction.
We're friends. We sort of cross paths at a certain point, and
cross paths like in a junction? We're going
kind of the junction of our lives, and then all of a sudden there's a wool mill involved.
There you go.
And we should say it's not just Peg and I running the equipment these days. We did start that way, but we have a team of now
5 people.
Full-time employees.
Not full-time. 5 full-time and 5 part-time.
Yeah. And then us on top of that.
Plus us. So 12 folks. And you know what? I feel great about it.
I love to come to work every day.
In one sense, this is our 5th year, which I don't know whether you think that's a lot or a little. To my mind, it's flown by, and we've grown like crazy fast. But the team members have joined us, not all at once, right? Incrementally joining, and you think, when you get to a certain point, go, we have the best team. How could we have, what would it be like if we added another person? And then somebody else joins, and they go,
and
they fit right in. They fit right in, and it's like, well, of course. How could we live without? So it's.
I know, that's why I think it's so important to mention that we are not just us, because when I think of the mill, it's like it definitely wouldn't all happen if it was just the 2 of us.
No way.
It's pretty sweet, but it also is nice, I think, to have had the time of just having, ourselves doing it and knowing what the business is.
2 years of,
And hot tip for anyone looking to start a small business and wanting to know how to let go of the reins a little, just get pregnant like 3 months into business.
Well, there's that.
So
it worked out.
It worked out. But it helped. It definitely helped us realize.
I thought you were going to say, if you're thinking of starting a business, and this is, I'm a broken record about this, try to start with a partner.
That too.
That's
huge.
Yeah, I think it makes an enormous difference in high times and low. High times, you have somebody to share the joy with, and when it gets tough, you're not just talking to yourself going, oh my God, what do we do? You get to look and go, oh my God, what do we do?
Yeah.
So anyway, it's all been good.
But more about what's happening.
Oh no, I should also say part of your birthday, you brought in the cake, right?
I did, because I'm the cake person.
You drive by King Arthur Flour, and there's no better cakes than King Arthur Flour. She brings in this incredible chocolate frosted cake, and it's just as good the next day.
Because I was like, have at it, team. I'm going
So
home.
I got back from my physical, and you come back from the physical, and you should always be thinking, now's the time to get healthy. Take those vitamins. And I saw the chocolate cake, and I go, the diet will start tomorrow. I'm having breakfast and lunch right here with that slice of cake. Anyway.
Well, thanks for celebrating me.
Yeah, I'm
So-
probably buzzing on the chocolate. Okay.
Well, it's going to make great content.
Boy, we are so excited about...
I can't talk about anything else before jumping into this yarn.
Yeah.
It's, we talked about it last week, but I'm
but
so
now we
excited it's here.
It's here.
This is Smoky Quartz, folks, and it is to die for. Oh my God, what makes it good? Well, we should start with the what's unique about it.
Well, we should say it's what's different about it. We tend to usually do 2-ply. This is 3-ply. And 3-ply is like going Cadillac. It's nice and round. It's really stepping it up.
So that means there's 3 individual strands that we spun, and then we put the twist in the opposite direction to combine them into one strand. And yeah, as far as what you're going to experience 2-ply, which is what we normally do, versus 3-ply, it's a lot more like, I call it a spaghetti noodle.
Yeah.
It's much more round versus like the 2-ply is a little more double helix. But I want to talk about the very subtle, it came out very subtle, but this is a silk wool combo.
Right.
Just a little bit of silk. Go.
So you're looking at some beautiful silk. It's Surrey silk, S-U-R-I, that we hand-dyed in all these different colors. And they look really loud right now, but you know what we're going to do with them? We're going to take this Surrey silk and we're going to blend it with this gorgeous North Country Cheviot wool from a farm over in New Hampshire. Nice and dark. So when we combine these two, 5% silk with this wool, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous.
This is a silk wool combo.
Right.
Just a little bit of silk.
Very little, like 5%.
5%, and we dyed it in-house. We tried that,
Yep.
and I want to show everybody.
Yeah, so this is...
Tussa silk.
Yeah,
imported.
I hope the shine is coming through.
It's coming.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. So we bought this Tussa silk, which I wish everyone had access to bags of beautiful fiber in their life, because this is what a joy to feel this.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's wispy, whew. So we dyed this in a couple of batches. We wanted to we played around with that Surrey silk. Wow, it's floating.
Well, the sari silk was shredded saris, and so when we did that confetti Corriedale, I think back in January, you could see true flecks of the shredded sari silk.
Right, and this is you can see it. It's just
fine fibers.
Fine fibers. So we thought, what would happen if we blended it with some? This is my second most exciting thing about this yarn. It's tied, really. Ginny Prince's North Country Cheviot fiber. Naturally super dark.
She's just down the road in near Cornish, New Hampshire.
What a wonderful human.
Terrific. Yeah, she's fabulous. She's a veterinarian, also an ace breeder and raiser of border collies.
Yeah,
and
so she uses the sheep to actually train her dogs.
Right.
And it's a pretty small flock, so we only get
small flock, fabulous barn. I have barn envy every time.
Fabulous fiber.
And she's just a terrific human being, and we buy all of her fiber, and so we have white, and this is all the dark. So this is totally natural color. The gray that you're seeing is the actual color of her dark sheep.
And then we blended it just a touch, 5% of that dyed silk to it. So the effect of it is almost metallic. When you look at this, and that's why we called it Smoky Quartz. It just has that mineral shine to it. And I think if you look up close, it's really fun to see a little pop of color here or there. Again, way more subtle.
It's very, very, very subtle
than the Corriedale confetti, but I think it actually is just so lovely that way.
Yeah, this is yummy stuff, and it feels like $1 million.
And North Country Cheviot already has a good amount of luster to it. Mm-hmm. Adding the 5% silk though just takes it up another amp here.
Yeah. So this is yummy, and we are a small mill, and there's nothing we can do about it. And when we're buying wool from a specific farm, we're in New England. None of these farms are very big. Mm-hmm. I think altogether, if I'm recalling correctly,
25 sheep or something?
Yeah, I was going to say that. I want to say all together, both her whites and the colors, I think we got maybe 150 pounds of raw wool. And when you scour that down, it's going to lose roughly a third. So there was some white. So bottom line is, we don't have a whole.
We made as much as we possibly
We made as much as we possibly could.
But this is a super limited edition,
Yeah.
and we warned you about it, and we really hope you get your hands on some. Because this is
but
absolutely gorgeous.
if you don't, this is what we do: is we go and we try to source from small farms. So, if you don't get any, don't despair. Well, there'll be other farm yarns coming your way, including my sheep that eventually Savage Art Farm will fold into the mix.
I just think this is so stinking cool, though. Like
yeah, it is.
The metallic-y. I think we'll do this sort of thing again with a tuss of silk, because I think it is. Now that we know how it plays with wool, I mean,
Right.
this was an experiment, like a lot of these.
Which what we do. And the chocolate's kicked in, hasn't it? Jesus, I'm sorry. I don't take.
She's on chocolate cake, folks. Buckle up.
It's not caffeine because I don't drink caffeine, so the chocolate is like boop boop boop.
Yeah, the King Arthur chocolate cake is a lot. They put about 3 times as much frosting.
I should probably just shut up and let you finish talking.
Just be back there doing a little dance.
It's true. Okay, all right. Anyway, it is gorgeous.
It's DK weight, 200 yards, and I think I would think this would knit up just beautiful, like on its own. But also, if you have other farm yarns you want to blend, you could tell some interesting stories with it. Again, I love the idea that this is like a super local New Hampshire farm. You can knit I just love to think about the story of where the yarn comes from while you knit it, and I think that's what's really unique about our Summit line and this yarn in particular.
Now, again, it's Summit because we added the silk.
And the 3-ply and the natural darks.
Summit being sort of, we've reached the top.
This is the pinnacle of the things we make here at the mill.
We've crested for the view. Okay.
And all the hands in the mill have touched this, and we all are fawning over it.
It's pretty yummy.
It's great. So anyways, I can't say enough good things about it. Tuesday, 10 a.m.
Tuesday, 10 a.m.
Hope you get your skeins.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Should we go in the mill and see what's up?
Yes. I think it's my turn. You did a phenomenal job.
Oh, thanks. What did you like about it? To put you on the spot.
You took the time to slow down and explain. You were really talking through, and you said, "Yep, I'm going to come back around and see the spinner." So it's my turn, and I'm jacked up on chocolate. So it'll be a very different kind of tour. I'll probably be doing this with the camera, and you won't know where the hell we are.
God, okay.
So here's my mill tour. Okay, are you ready for the mill tour? We're going to head into our mill section, and Logan has just started to. Let's see. Oh, I think she's. Logan, what are you working on? Washing the bottles out. Okay. And we've got in here, we have some of our making tracks getting rinsed. This one is Zinnia, one of my very, very favorites. And then this is some raw wool. Whoa, that water's hot. This is some raw wool that is on its rinsing stage. And that, washing the raw wool takes actually a fair amount of time. I've got there's 2 things of Zinnia being spun out in our almost brand new Maytag washing machine. Our prior one finally bit the dust. And look what is getting spun right now. This is our, what may be called cedar brown. It's going up, over, so that's the roving that's dyed and been pin drafted. And now we are spinning it. You can see it's coming down and getting loaded up as singles. Way down here you'll see it. We have 12 spindles going at one time to create the singles. And then on our next spinner over, we're doing some plying at the very end, applying some of the same. Maybe it's going to get called cedar brown. We'll see. Leah is managing the scene here. Thank you, Leah. We don't have anything going on in at the picker, which is okay. And at the carder, we have wool awaiting. This is, I'm not sure. I think this is some Jacob that's going. But again, we have a lean crew on Friday, so not as many folks going. This, you'll see, is some gorgeous, I gotta show you this. This is some Shetland blended with alpaca. Here's the alpaca. You can see the alpaca. So this is all getting blended in with the Shetland. This is going to be spectacular. Wow. And then, of course, behind it is all this Savage Heart Farm yarn. Well, it's roving right now, and it's waiting to get pin drafted and spun. Let's see what else we have going on. Oh, I can see something's going on at the pin drafter. Oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. This is some Jacob. Let's go take a look at it. Oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. This is a custom processing job, and this is some stunning, absolutely stunning Jacob. And as you can see, we have 6 different piles. All of them are leading up and going into, through these ceramic circles, and all getting fed into the pin drafter. So what's happening is it's getting really well blended, and the pin drafter is lining up those fibers, and what it does is it allows for a real consistent end product here. Look at how glorious this is. Oh my God. So all the fibers are going in the right line, and these 2 feet weighs the same as the next 2 feet. This is going to be stunning. Holy mackerel. So I think that's it. I don't think we have anything actively going on the skein winder. That's over here, but look at what we do have here. Oh my Lord. This is I think we're going to call this Raspberry Fabulous Red. Oh, I'm giving you a sneak peek. This is our creamsicle that's going to be coming up. It still needs to be rinsed. Take a look at this. Oh my gosh, how fun. Anyhow, a lot going on in the mill. Hope you enjoyed that little bit of a preview. Bye. Not too bad.
Anyways.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We always have stuff going on in the mill.
Yeah. Fridays, we're recording this on a Friday. There's not as much going on as, and we may have said that before we started the tour, but there's far fewer people on Friday than on Thursdays, just because of the way our schedules work. So that's it. I want to give you a quick, are we doing what we're knitting? Yeah.
I'm doing a what we're knitting.
Finally? Are we there? Uh-oh.
Almost.
I see needles.
We're almost there, you guys. I am stoked to say.
Yeah, you
my
are.
My sweater vest. Thank God it's just a vest because, oh my God. Okay, so this is the Stockholm slipover.
Yep.
By Petite Knit. Last time we spoke about it.
Oh, you were really struggling with the V. You nailed it. You got it right.
I nailed it. Okay, so I had to undo this whole ribbing.
The V of the V-neck.
Yeah. It was important, and I'm glad I
did. Oh, yeah, no, it was
it.
So center, you had to get it straight.
Because even though it's marled, I still think it pops a little. So you have this nice, what is this thing called? A two stitch decrease, a center decrease. Anyways, you're doing 2 stitches at once, and it creates this lovely center line. And it's a generous rib. It's like 9 or 10 stitches. And here's something that's up for debate. If you're doing a tubular cast off, bind off. You do that a lot, and I actually haven't done it yet. I will though, but I freaking love it. It's totally worth it. It creates this really, really stretchy
and kind of rounded.
Edge. Rounded, yeah. Because basically, what you do is you come to whatever your last row is, and this is what I have a question on, and then you do 2 more rounds. You do a knit 1, slip 1, knit 1, slip 1, and then you do the same thing in reverse. So you're purling, slipping, and what that essentially does is it creates 2 separate rows, one on the outside, the right side, one on the wrong side, and then you're Kitchenering them together as you go around. So that's why it looks with an embroidery needle. Yep.
Okay.
So that's why it looks like a curved
I gotcha.
edge. And my question is, because of those extra, at least 1, if not 2 rows that you're doing the slipping, whatever, if the pattern is calling for 9 stitches of ribbing and then you bind off in your tubular binding, are you actually doing 8 rows and then doing those ones, or are you doing 9 and then you kind of have the look of a 10th or maybe even 11th? So I think I did 9 full rows before I started doing it. So this was pretty generous.
I see what you're saying now. Do you count the rows? Do you stop counting the rows before you begin what will in effect be your bind off rows?
Exactly. So I didn't want quite as much ribbing on this armhole, so I stopped at 8.
Curious minds want to know.
Yeah, okay. So I stopped at 8 and I did it, and now last night I did this twice. I don't know, is anyone else like this? I really hate picking up stitches. It feels so imprecise to me.
I
don't, especially around an armhole, you're at some points you're hitting the tops of the rows and you're at the sides.
I totally agree.
I hate it. So what I usually do is I'll divide it into however many sections. So I'll take it like this. I'll put one clip on each end.
Right.
And then like, this, and then I'll have those. And that whole setup takes forever.
Yeah,
and then I have
but
eight sections.
it's very thorough and precise, something I would never do.
Okay, and by the end of it though, I still was off because I wasn't like counting accurately enough. So then what I ended up doing is like, okay, I know I need 134 stitches around. If I divide that by 8, I need 16.75.
Did the pattern tell you how many stitches you're going to need?
Yes.
Because there's some patterns that... well, this one that I did for my son-in-law, who I'm seeing this weekend, it didn't say how many actual stitches. It just said across the neck, do every third, but it never had a total. And then I got it, and I'm like going, I'm not sure this is going to fit over its head. So I'm waiting to see him this weekend before I finish the neck. Because if I have to
think that's wrong of the pattern. I wouldn't. I don't know.
Maybe I missed it, but I didn't see anywhere.
I think it's important. I mean, I would never be so confident because when I'm doing this, I'm like, wow, that seems like a lot of stitches. I'm really glad someone vetted that that's the right amount. But anyways, I had to redo it twice. But now I'm on track. I've got the correct number, so it's just a matter of hopefully the next time you see this sweater,
you'll be wearing it. You'll be wearing it.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. And I tried it on yesterday after I finished.
And you're pleased?
The one, and it was my birthday, so it was extra nice. I was knitting on the porch, and I got to put it on, and I was like, I want to wear this. I love it. So I'm excited.
Very nice. I don't have anything really cool to show. I am knitting, and so my son-in-law's sweater is done, except that I haven't folded and stitched down the collar because I want to make sure it fits over his head before I stitch it down. So I'm just quickly knocking off for myself another pair of felted mittens.
Ooh,
I had done a pair a
mittens.
couple weeks ago because my daughter said she had lost hers. And so I'm doing it in, again, some yarn I have around the house. I've done the one. I know it looks ridiculously big.
Let me try it on.
Yeah, it's crazy big.
Woo!
Yeah, and this is going to shrink down like nobody's business. And I'm on the second one.
Cool.
And I'm going to be driving over to Portland today, so hopefully I'll finish these on my drive over.
Very nice.
Yeah, going over to help out with the grandkids. And my 5-year-old grandson is graduating from
preschool.
I guess preschool/daycare. He'll be a kindergartner in the fall.
That's really exciting.
So we're very excited for Emmer, and so knitting there.
In case people are wondering, yes, I'm still extremely stoked about Maeve getting into pre-K. It's like people are like, what's up in your life? And for the whole past 2 weeks, I'm like, she got into pre-K. It's the best thing ever. Anyways, you've got
so
a
that's
fun...
what I'm knitting. And then I've got to think about what I want to knit next. And I'm a little stuck. Part of me wants to knit a cardigan because I actually like wearing cardigans. I like the pullovers if you have a nice yoke, but I love throwing on a cardigan. But I don't like the cardigans that come up like Peter Pan and then round and then drop. So I'm thinking shawl collar, and debating whether to find a pattern or make up my own.
More power to you.
The only thing is I'm not brave enough to steek, and the back and forth, you get spoiled when you're knitting in the round.
That's like a knitting class I really should take as a steeking class because I do need someone to hold my hand.
I would do it with you, man. I look at it going, I get the advantage, but man.
Scary.
Yeah, and when you see those little YouTube videos where someone's got and they're like going, I'm like going, oh my God, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Yeah.
Well, I think you really should just do it on a swatch.
I've seen some of those samples where they've knit in the round, something like a cuff.
Yeah.
And then they're just going to knit. That's definitely the way to go.
Yeah, and do your color work a little bit so you can make sure.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really realize when I did it that you have to be really careful doing color work, that you're setting up that steek area.
Oh yeah.
Floats and stuff.
Right.
Right.
You have to do knit one, purl one, or knit the two contrasts for a section, so it all holds together. Yeah. So now that I've expressed my ignorance around knitting, right? Next weekend, I'm going to be standing in front of a group of knitting pros.
Okay. How did they get? Well, how did you find yourself in that situation?
More than a year ago, the mill got an email saying would the mill be interested in coming down and doing a presentation to New York City to do a presentation to this knitting guild that I had not heard of. And a year plus ago, I was like, yeah, I could visit I said, Amanda doesn't. I'll go down. I'll visit my sister or my brother. And I said yes. And then you kind of forget, and life marches on. But it's in the calendar. And then, like in the fall, a contract arrives. I'm like going, ooh, that's pretty serious. So anyway, June 14th, Saturday, I will be down at in Manhattan at the Big Apple Knitting Guild, which apparently is a pretty big knitting guild.
I'm jealous. I wish I could come. I'll be at a wedding that weekend, and
well, Todd has offered to help me set up, so I'm going to bring down some yarn so they can at least see what we do, and then I've got a slideshow. And kind of do our, as you like to call it, I'm going to do both. The origin story of Savage Heart Farm, which led into us meeting and starting the mill. Great. So I'm really looking forward to it. But I suspect this is a group of very, very good knitters.
Okay.
I make very good yarn.
I can't wait to see and hear.
Oh, I have to remember. I'll try and take a couple of pictures.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Cool.
It'll be fun.
How's the farm doing?
The farm is good. The lambs are growing so fast, and I tried to get some pictures. The problem is the moms are not, I mean, some of the moms are more social than others. That's okay. But I can always get one of the two moms who want to come up and, scratch me here, scratch me there. Try to get close to the lambs? No way. They just kind of, and they take off, and you're like, no, I just want to get a picture. And I'm really struggling to get a good picture. I will, but it has not gone easy.
Okay.
But they're growing rapidly. They're all there. They're all healthy and thriving. We sell the ewe lambs. We'll keep a couple, and then the rest we sell for breeding stock. And we always have a line of people who want to buy our breeding stock, and that's exciting. But we need to keep them, the lambs, with the moms, so they're sold, but they'll stay with the moms until probably mid to late July.
Still,
yeah, they need the milk. Although it's so funny, we are at the stage now.
Are they lifting the moms off the ground?
No, they're not big enough to do that. But the moms are like, yeah, that's enough. They're just like stepping away. You had a couple of sips. Go get some grass.
Well, since we bred ours and kept the lambs, the lambs are still at the farm. We they got quite old, and by the time they were still with their moms, and the two twin boys come up to Brownie's teats, and they're just literally butting her off the ground.
Yeah, so to get the milk to drop, and when the lambs are tiny, it doesn't look so bad. It's kind of just pounding the udder. But to your point, when they get to be 20 and 30 pounds, that poor mom, and they're pounding and the moms are like, whoa. We shouldn't laugh. It's probably not any fun. I should say we do have one. She's a terrific mom, but she's had a limp, and you never know quite what causes the limp. If it was truly bad, like a broken leg, they couldn't put any weight on it. You have a problem. But she's putting some weight on, but not a lot, and we let basically 24, 32 hours go by, and then we just try to be helpful. And Todd and I yesterday got a hold of her, which isn't hard when you have a sheep with a sore foot. And we gave her a powerful antibiotic and a painkiller.
Okay.
And, we'll just see how she does.
Has lambs right now?
Yeah, she's got two beautiful, and she's a great mom.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be thinking of your sheep.
She'll be good.
Well,
what's great is, so Todd and I are headed to Portland, but my sister Eileen lives just down the road, and she's a sheep sitter fabulous.
Yeah.
And she'll
she knows
oversee.
she can always give us a call if she needs an extra set of hands. So.
Yeah.
But
good.
This coming weekend, as of when this, 2 weekends.
Yeah, the following
2 weekends.
Yeah.
So June 21st.
Yeah, mark your calendar.
Next open house here at the mill from 10 to 1.
10 to 1.
And we actually decided on the rest of our summer open house dates as well. We decided to keep with the theme holiday weekends. So that seems to get a lot of folks coming through the area. So June 21st is the next.
Which
That's
is
not
a holiday, right?
But then July 5th.
July 5th is of the 4th of July weekend. Yeah.
And then the second one's, you're going to have to wait a while, but the end of August for Labor Day weekend, I think it's August 30th.
Right.
So there's a little bit of a gap, and we're going to have our retreat in there.
Right.
But mark your calendars or plan a trip to Vermont.
Absolutely.
Those are going to be, I can already tell you, fabulous weekends to visit.
Well, everybody thinks of coming up to Vermont for the colors in the fall, which is no question, it's great. But I'll tell you, it is so gorgeous right now. It is so green.
And there's 5 million things to do in Vermont in the summer. You can't throw a cat without hitting a pizza night on a farm.
Did you say you can't throw a cat?
Isn't that the phrase? Swing a dead cat.
Yeah, that'd be something you'd think I would say.
I'm notorious for getting wrong the common phrases people use. Like I'm always saying, now we're really cooking with gas or whatever. What is this? That's the right one.
Yeah, that's right.
I always say we're really cooking with oil or something like that. And Cody's like, what? And I'm like, I think of it like you've got oil in the frying pan. I don't know.
It's funny you're saying that because the other day I was talking to a couple of our teammates and I said pig in a python and they were like, what? I said, it's like a pig in a python. I had no idea what I was talking about.
That's right.
Right, but then I was like, well, explain it. And then I was like, well, what? And I was
like, bottleneck?
Yeah, because, yes, so a pig in a python.
It's an image.
More like a piglet has been eaten by the python, but it's got to get all the way through. And so, yes, it's a bottle jam. But
anyways,
it was so
I think
funny.
there's a phrase, something like you can't swing a dead cat without hitting this or that.
I think that's right.
It's a little gruesome, so sorry,
yes,
folks.
that's okay.
Anyways, come to Vermont in the summer.
That was the connection.
That was the connection.
So many things to do in Vermont. Right. Hey, the chocolate's wearing off, so I can go back to normal. And get organized for our road trip to Portland.
All right.
In the meantime, see you later, guys.
Bye.